Hello friends, today I will be discussing a fresh topic of Java multithreading. Multithreading basically I think is one of the difficult concept which students find difficult to understand. Okay, and I have seen many lectures the instructor has tried to explain the multithreading, but it is little bit confusing because they go into the technical details, more into the technical details. So in today's lecture, I will try to explain the multi-threading in a simpler way so that you can understand it in a more better way. So now when we talk about multi-threading, so multi-threading is nothing but a multitasking. Like when you are working on your laptop, then you are also listening the music and you are also doing the typing work, and say you are also downloading some files. So what you will say? You will say all the activities are performed simultaneously. But if your processor speed is slow, what will happen? You are typing something, but it will stop typing and it will take some time to visualize what you are typing on your Word file. Sometime it will stop the download. Sometime music will break. So what is happening? Your processor is distributing the three different tasks in such a way that you are thinking that all these actions are performed simultaneously, but it is actually the processor which is distributing the time in between all the three tasks. Okay, so that is a concept of multi-threading. Multi-threading is actually not a multitasking. When we talk about the multitasking, so we say that we are performing all the things simultaneously, concurrently, basically. And if in the start of my lecture I told you that I will not be going into the technical details more, because technical details you will find on the net. That is what is multitasking. So multitasking means that in instance is initialized, that is a separate memory is allocated to my instance, and each process has been assigned a different memory, and then we are distributing the work in between the two instances, which is slower and it is heavyweight, and it takes some time to switch in between the two communications. But when we talk about the multi-threading, so we say that inside a single process we assign the tasks in between the instances in such a way that it seems that they are working together, but actually what they are doing, we are assigning the priority which has to be executed and another is waiting, and then another is waiting, then first comes to the waiting position. In that way we can communicate in between the threads. Okay, so rest you can, and I will share this particular document with you, so you can go through this particular like a definition, like what is multi-threading. That is, and it is a lightweight and it communicate is faster, and single space is assigned to the instance, and not the multiple memories, and single instances, uh, we are creating the sub process which are communicating with each other. Okay, now thread is a class in now I'm coming back to my example only so that you can understand it in a better way. So I'm going to my Eclipse. I'm creating one package, say by the name of thread. Okay, now basically thread is a class in java.lang package. Okay, which implements runnable interface. So there are two ways of creating multi-threading in Java. One is either we implement a interface or we extend the interface, but before coming to that, what is exactly threading? So let us make one program. I'll give the name as say thread demo 1. And here in this thread demo 1, say I am writing one method, say public void, any method I'm writing. For the time being, I'm writing the method by any name, say ABC. Okay. And then what I'm doing, I'm writing system.out.println, and I'll give some message. And I will give the message, say thread executes. Okay. Now this is a method of this particular class, and this is a instance member of that particular class. So if I initializes this class, say I'll give the reference as OB, say I give the name as OB1, and I again create one more instance, say I give the name as OB2. So it means now the same class is having two instances. And if I call ob1.abc, and again if I call ob2.abc, and say I write one for loop so that I can refer to it. If int I is equals to 1, say I is less than say 8, and I plus plus, and I will write this 8 times. Okay, less than equal to say 8. And when I run this particular program, what you will see, you will see that first this particular instance is executing this particular method, and when this instance is executed, then only second instance reference will again call this particular method. So it means two instances are creating, but they are working one after another. I will say refer to it as I also. If you see, first this one was executed 1 to 8, and then this was executed again 1 to 8, like this. I'll try to add one thread dot sleep with it. Say thread dot sleep, and I will add a sleep time of say 1000 milliseconds. So I will add the exception. I will add the exception, and I'll try to execute it one more time. Now you also see that first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First instance is executed, and then only second instance has started executing. Okay. Now, if I want to execute both of them together, so what I will do, I will, or before writing anything, I'll write this one method, say run. Okay, so run is also a, I'm not extending anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just writing this run method. And instead of say ABC, I'm calling this method as run method. Run, run. Okay. Now again, if I execute this particular program, so you'll see it will give me the same result. So you see, it is giving me the same result. Okay. Now there are two ways of using thread in Java. First is that if I extends thread class. Okay. So now I am extending the thread class. When I extend the thread class is a class coming from java.lang package. It is a predefined class. Then run is showing me the error. That is, it is showing that you cannot throw the exception with the run method because now run method is overridden method. Implement because thread is implementing a runnable interface and it is overridden method. So I will remove this throws clause from here. And instead of that, I will add try and catch block because you will not able to write this. Now if I take my mouse over to the run, this particular run, so this particular run method is overridden, so you can write override. Above it you can write @override extends thread. Now what I'm doing, instead of calling this run method by the reference of this ob and ob2, I am starting this thread. So there is a method called ob1 dot start to start this thread. So it means whenever we are creating the instance of the class, a thread is, so in the life cycle, when you come to the multi-threading life cycle, so you can check from here. So all the things are available in this document. You can look at it. So when we are writing thread extends thread, so it means it is creating a thread, a new thread, and that thread comes into the runnable state. It means it has not started running. It has come to the runnable state, which is an active state. So in active stages, there are two stages. One is a runnable state and another is a running state. So when we have created the thread, it comes to the, and we write this start, it comes to the runnable state and then to the run state. Okay. And in case if I want thread to stop or wait for some time, then what we can do, we can use the wait command to wait for that particular thread. Like for example, again, if you look at this diagram, you see the thread has been started, comes to the runnable state, and it is run method means it is running the thread. Okay, run run method is mean it means running the thread. And then if we want to wait the thread, we can use this sleep or wait to, or we can stop the execution. The thread will stop the executing, and then again we can start the new thread. So that is a multi-threading life cycle. So run, start, sleep, wait, these are the methods from thread class. Okay. So now this is the run method actually. So when the new thread is executing, so what I want to do, runnable and then run state. Okay. And then we have to start the thread. So now we are using this start method, start. And then again, I want to start this ob2 dot start. So now you see here we are not calling this particular method by the reference of this thing. Instead of that, because we have inherited the thread class and this is a run method overridden, so we are so the thread will run when we call this start method. So now again, if I look at the output, so you look at the output. So what is happening? These instances are running simultaneously. They are not running one after another. So first one is executing, then second one is executing. Both of the instances are executing in a parallel way. Another way of writing a threading program is, again, if I create a new class, is to, instead of extending, implements runnable. Okay, so runnable, we can implement runnable is again coming from this lang package. And as you know, when we implement the interface, we have to override the methods implemented by the interface. So it will give you the suggestion to implement the unimplemented method. And again, you will get this run method. Okay, in run method, you can, I can copy the code from here only. Okay, same code I'm writing. Okay, and now again, inside the main method, you have to create the instance of this class. So again, I will give the name as ob1 is equals to new, and again I will create one more instance, say ob2. So again, we have initialized the class and we have created the two instances of the class. Now there is a thread t1 is equals to new thread, in which we pass ob1 and the name of the thread, say thread 1. Okay, so now, instead, when we are not inheriting the thread class and we are implementing the runnable interface, then you have to create this thread class object. Okay, there, when we are, in this case, when we are inheriting the thread, the thread is inherited in this subclass, and when we are creating the constructor of the subclass, there is no need to create this thread class object here. So already thread is inherited in this class. Okay, and we can directly use this start method. But here you have to create this thread class object, and you have to pass this object name over here and the name of the thread, which you can also get by by method. You can also get the name of the thread, which then sometimes we require that what which thread is executing. So this is the name of the thread, which, so you have given the name of this thread. Similarly, so again we have created two thread, and then t1 dot start will start the thread, and again t2 dot start will start the thread. So in that way, again, two threads has been started. Okay, again, if I run this program, that is thread demo 2, you will see I am getting the same result. Okay, so now there is one more concept in which we do inter-thread communication. Now for that, we are taking one example of cricket match. In a cricket match, there is a bowler and there is a batsman. The bowler performs the action to deliver the ball, and batsman performs the action to play the ball. Now, batsman will wait for this ball to be delivered, and similarly, when batsman is playing the ball, Bowler will wait until the batsman has completed the action. So it means now I want to run two threads concurrently, a batsman thread and bowler thread, and we have to communicate with each other, that is when to bowl and when to bat. So let us try to execute that example also. So I think now you have understood what is the meaning of thread and how we can create the thread in two ways. So again, I will create one more example. Say I'll create one class by the name of, say, cricket. Any name you can give. It's a demonstrative example. And in this cricket match, we create a method, say public void, say batsman, and it is performing the action to bat. Batsman play ball. So I will write this particular action in a loop, because batsman has to play the ball again and again. So I will write one loop, say while true. While the condition is true, batsman will keep on playing the ball, and so that there is a gap, otherwise it will run very fast. So I'll write thread dot sleep, so that there is a time interval. Okay. So now this is the first method we have defined. Again, I will define a second method, say public void bowler. And here also I will write a while loop, while true, a message, say uh, bowler deliver ball. Thread dot sleep again, so that there is some time interval. Okay. So, so in a cricket match, we have defined two methods. One a batsman method, another a bowler method, and we have defined this particular scenario over here. So I'm not using main method over here. Okay. So I'm not writing main method over here. Now after that, what I will do, I will create one, or instead of writing the true over here, while true, let us write this simple message only, because I will use it in a separate class. I will call this method from the separate. So I'll just write a simple method, that is deliver a ball. Batsman action is to deliver a ball. Okay. So this is my method. And simple okay. So just we have defined simple two methods in a cricket match. Fine. Okay. So after creating this cricket class, so in this cricket class we have created two methods, that is a batsman performing the action to play the ball, and bowler performing the action to deliver the ball. So now what I will do, I will create another class, say by the name of batsman, and I am not writing the main method over here, and I am clicking on finish. And now batsman is a thread, that is batsman thread I want to execute. So I told you there are two ways of doing the thing. Either you can extend or you can implement. Both are the same, but the advantage with implements is that when we are implementing the interface, we can also extend the class. So if this class I want to extend something, so I can implement and extend both the things together. But if I'm extending the thread class, then you cannot extend any other thing. Okay, so now it's up to you. So I think it is better if you use the implements. So I will try to use this implements runnable, and whenever you implement the runnable, you have to add the unimplemented method. Okay, and here in this uh, this and a run method, I will try to call this particular batsman method, this method. For that I require this cricket class object. So I will create one cricket class object over here, say cricket C, and I will create the constructor so that I will get the reference of cricket over here. Okay, so I think this is understandable. What we have done, we have just created the constructor of the class so that we can pass the cricket object over here, which we have added as a global variable, which we can use in this run class. So now here I can call this method c dot uh, what is by the batsman, and I can write it inside the while loop so that keep on playing the ball when the ball is delivered, and so that there is a little bit gap, so I'm adding the sleep of say 1000 milliseconds, and whenever there is a sleep, you can surround it with try and catch block. Okay, so we have added this particular batsman as a thread class by implementing this runnable interface. Fine. Now again I will create one more class by the name of say bowler. No need for main method. Again I will write implements runnable and add the unimplemented method run. Similarly, again I want to call this bowler method from cricket class. So I will create this cricket C and constructor public bowler constructor, pass the reference, and this is used to refer to the global variable is equals to local variable, so that I can use it in run method c dot bowler. Again you can write it inside the while loop, and thread dot sleep so that there is some gap, otherwise it will run very fast. So now we have two threads with us. One is a batsman thread which is performing the action to play the ball, and another is a baller thread, which is performing the action to deliver the ball. Now we have to start the match. So I will create a class by the name of say match, match match, say main method. And in that particular match, I will create uh, this thing, uh, cricket match object. Cricket C is equals to new cricket, that is it is a cricket match. And then I will create batsman bat is equals to new batsman, and we can pass the C object over here. Similarly, bowler ball is equals to new bowler, and I will pass the C object over here. Now if you come back to my program, so I told you when we are inheriting the thread, so I told you this is a thread class, and you can directly write start method to start the thread. But when I told you about this implements runnable, then I told you you have to create this thread class object in which you have to pass the thread object and the name of the thread. So because I have used implements over here, okay, so what I will do, I will create the thread class object. Thread, say T1 is equals to new thread, and this bat object, this one, I will pass, and then name of the thread, say bat. Again, I will create one more thread, T2 is equals to new thread. I will use this object ball for the name. I will use ball like this. Okay. And then I want to start this T1 and T2. T1 dot start will start this thread, and T2 dot start will start the baller thread. Okay. So it means now match is going on in between batsman and bowler. So now I will try to execute it and check it how it is working. So if you look at it, bowler delivers the ball, batsman play the ball. Batsman play the ball, bowler deliver the ball. Bowler deliver the ball, batsman. But threads are executing. But here if you look at it, batsman is, bowler is sometimes delivering the ball two times. Okay. Like if I stop this program, and for example, I change the time. Instead of 1000 millisecond, if I change the time to 2000 milliseconds, so what will happen? This thread will is waiting for 1000 milliseconds, and bowler is waiting for 2000 milliseconds. In that time, batsman will execute maybe two times. So there is no synchronization as such in between the two threads. Both are executing, but it is dependent upon the program which it is executing and which it is in a, so it means what is happening, one thread is in a runnable state and another is running, then another maybe same thread is running again, and then another thread is executing, it will come into the runnable state. So in that way, the program is deciding which thread to execute. Like again, if I have changed the time, here I have written 1000, here I have written 2000, and again if I run the program, then you will again see what is happening. Batsman play the ball, bowler deliver the ball, batsman play the ball, bowler deliver the ball, batsman play the ball two times now here. Bowler deliver the ball, batsman play the ball now two times over here. So in that way, batsman play the ball two times over here. So in that way, synchronization is not available. To make the thread synchronized, that is we want to talk in between the two threads. That is, if bowler has delivered the ball, then only batsman should play. So what we have to do, we have to write one keyword that is called synchronized. Synchronized, sorry. Synchronized. 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 That is the word. Spelling we have to check. So synchronized we have to write before the method. Okay. And now what we have to do, we have to make one variable boolean, say flag is equals to true or false, whatever you want to do. Say false. So I have created this boolean flag false. And now what I am doing over here, I am checking, that is, if this particular flag is false. False means that batsman uh, is playing the ball. The bowler is not delivering the ball. So if flag is equals to say false, then we have to play the ball, or else we have to use wait. Okay. Now this particular wait is coming from uh, throws. I should not use. I should use this and a try catch block only. वैसे तो it will work. Throws also work. No problem in that. Okay. So you can use throws clause also. No problem in that. So wait. So it means what I'm trying to do is that if this particular flag is false, so what, when the flag is false, when the batsman, sorry, bowler is not has delivered the ball basically, है ना? Then we are making it false, or otherwise, and we notify means that you have to execute it, notify. And now you can make this, now the batsman is playing the ball. Okay, so in that case you can make this flag is equals to true. That is, batsman is playing the, so batsman is playing the ball if the flag is true. Similarly, here what I am doing is, that is, if not flag is equals to here we are using if flag is equal to false. So now we have made it true now. So we have to use this flag is equal to true, not if flag is equal to true, then deliver the ball, or else wait. Wait in that way. And flag is equals to false and notify. Okay. So let's try to execute this one more time. Now you see, batsman play the ball, bowler deliver the ball. Batsman play the ball, bowler deliver the ball. Batsman play the ball, bowler deliver the ball. So it means there is a time gap, 1000 millisecond, 2000 millisecond, but they are communicating with each other. So in that way, both the threads are executing. In the same example, if you say I'll try to call this one before this, that is bowler should uh, deliver the ball and then batsman should play the ball. So let us run it one more time. Okay, but it is executing the same way: batsman then bowler, batsman then bowler. Okay, for that I think we have to change this particular thing over here. We have to make it that is for the first time it is false. So when it is false, it is going to this batsman. That is, it is false. Okay. So instead of that, I will do reverse. That is, if this flag is false, okay, then make it true. Make it true. Okay. And here I will make it true and then make it false. Okay. Writing it up and down is not solving my issue. Okay, because it is, when we are starting both the thread, it is a system which is deciding which one to execute, but we have written over here boolean value to stop that particular thing to from executing. So let's run it again. Now you see I'm getting the correct thing. That is, bowler is delivering the ball, then batsman is playing the ball, bowler is again delivering the ball, batsman is playing the ball, bowler is delivering the ball, batsman. So it means now my thread is synchronized, and one thread is waiting until the another thread is executing. Then another thread is waiting, then the first thread is executing. And if the thread is not synchronized, then it is a system dependent which thread is executing and which thread is not executing. Okay. So now, so we have to use this synchronized keyword with my program, and we have to check this boolean value. Okay, so in one thread you have to make it like here we are saying uh, batsman flag is true, then batsman will play the ball, and while the batsman is playing the ball, bowler should not deliver the ball. So we have created this flag as false over here. Okay, now when the flag is false, then this particular flag will execute this one. So it means now batsman is not batting, and then bowler deliver the ball, and when the flag is false at that point of the time, that particular thread will not execute. And when the thread is true, so it means bowler has delivered the ball and flag is true, so now it will go up and flag is true. Now batsman is again playing the ball, and it will make this flag false so that bowler thread is not executing. So in that way you can make this thread synchronized and use this boolean value to communicate in between the two different actions. And these actions we are calling from this thread: implements runnable, bowler thread, and batsman thread. Okay, so hopefully you have understood the concept of multi-threading with the example today. So let's get back to another topic, that is file handling, which we will be